Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It's a Sunday night, and crypto's a little bit red, I would say. So that's dipping down. Of course, we'll go over that and see what's going on. How low will it actually go with Bitcoin? It didn't look good earlier, and it still doesn't look great. So we'll obviously take a look at that, see what's going on, and see what's going to be popping in the market tomorrow. So here we go. We got a pretty big list. I'm just going to roll through them, see what they're looking like. Anything that grabs my attention, will mark it up and check it out tomorrow because who knows what the market's going to even look like tomorrow. So let's see what's happening here. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. I hope everybody had a great weekend. They do fly by so fast. But here we go. We're back to the market, and I think we're going to see some maybe bottoming out. I don't know if they're going to be popping yet, but there's going to definitely be some great opportunities. And look at Elf. I mean, that one, we'll just start off with that actually, because Elf went up about 10% the other day on Friday and looked perfect. It's hitting that 20. We'll look at it. And again, it's hard to tell if it's going to break through. It looks like it really wants to. But who knows with these things? I mean, they do hit that 20 and then bounce down, get reset up. So just a good example, though, that we do hit everything that's popping and we see it all. And that one was up about 10% on Friday right there. And again, I'm not exactly sure. It does look pretty strong going into tomorrow morning. Could keep running in the morning. We'll look at it. But that's ELF, good old elf. And here we go. Let's cruise through our list and see what's going on here. OCEA, let's just start off with it. We've been watching it. It's been set up in the right spot here, and it is looking good. I would definitely keep an eye on this bad boy tomorrow. And I was saying the other day it was starting to look good. A little bit of pullback in the after hours, it looks like. Nothing crazy, but I would definitely be keeping an eye on that OCEA. And let's see what is going on with our TRNR, because that was trying to run up, and now it's starting to pull back. I think we might get a little bit of pullback here to the MACD, maybe down to that 20 right there, which is at about $1.59. We're at 206 right now. We'll see, but it is curling up. It's just going to pull back to set up and go up again. So we will be keeping an eye on our good old TRNR right there. And let's see what FAMI wants to do right here. It was running up, I believe, in the after hours on Friday right there. Let's see, FAMI, and it did. It ran up, I believe, on Thursday in the after hours, and then Fridays in the after hours, 29 to 42. It closed at 22, so everyone jumped out of that bad boy as it jumped up there, that's for sure. And I don't blame them going into a weekend if they pop up there. And again, this thing's crawling up, hitting that MACD. Good chance that it's coming back down right there. We know what that pattern looks like, that's for sure. And GV here, Visionary Holdings, this thing did run up on Friday. It's been running up the last few days. And I'll tell you what, it has an interesting look. I would definitely keep an eye on it in the morning. It went 425 to 960, and then it came down to 630. So it did close at 630 right there. But again, not looking bad, still in the top. And I think you might still have a momentum play right there in the morning. So keep an eye on that GV in the morning right there. And again, in the top, more of a momentum guy, but keep an eye on that early. WBA, our good old Walgreens, and again, this thing is getting bought out and it's curling up right there. I don't know if you want to trade it and be smart and look for the pops, but it does look pretty good. It went 11.18 to 11.53. It closed at 11.38 right there, and we did know that Walgreens was looking good. And again, we knew everything about Walgreens before any news ever came out on it, so the charts were definitely telling us what was going on. And like I had said before, I thought it was going to go bankrupt. They ended up going through a private company sale, and now that's what's happening there. So they did save themselves from bankruptcy, and they were definitely on the verge of it. They were closing stores there. They'd closed 1,200 stores, and they were ready to do it. VCIG right here. Here we go, is curling up, looking good on Friday. I know that VCIG. I think we had it on our list Thursday, and it still looked good, 67 to 107. It closed at 74, and you probably want to keep an eye on this. It did cross through and looks pretty good right there, VCIG. So keep an eye on that one in the morning as well. And WINT. Let's see what our buddy Wint is up to. Good old Wintry. This was in the basement there, looking like it wants to base out. It recently had that split, and I know it was trying to roll off that MACD. Let's see. It still looks like it wants to roll off that MACD. We're going to keep an eye on Wint. I think it is getting set up right here off that bottom and that split. So keep an eye on that. And that SYRS, we've been watching this bad boy and it got in the right spot, guys. And let's keep an eye on it for the next day or so. I think it's going to be a good setup right here and try to pop up. Let's just see if it pulls back at all. But I'll definitely keep an eye on SYRS tomorrow and see what that wants to do. And obviously, we are always early. We've had it on the list for a little bit and it's getting ready. How about that LAC? We were early for that one. That bottom was what, 238? We're at 309 right here. And it's cruising up a little bit. LAC, that's at Lithium Americas Corp. And it is what is it? A natural gas, industrial metals and mining in Canada. And it's up over that 50 and that 20's curling up. I could see this one running up some more, and we thought it was going to. It is setting up really good, that LAC. So keep an eye on that, and it still has some momentum right there and setting up. So has both things going. Might run up and pull back, but it looks good. AIM, we've been looking at this, and this thing's getting set up. It's just a little bit flat right there. Keep an eye on this week, guys. I think it's trying to get set up right here. So I would definitely keep an eye on that and look at AIM. I know we've had it on the list for a little bit, like 2 or 3 weeks now, and we've been a little early, but we knew that and we were just watching that setup. It's getting there. LH LRHC is at La Rosa Holdings at Real Estate One at the bottom right there. And I think this is making a base and could get set up right here this week. So keep an eye on it. It was running up a little bit or trying to on Friday. It was trying to get up to that 20 right there. And again, it's still curled up, not looking bad. And we know that they like to pull back and then roll back off a few times. So keep an eye on this. Your 20's right there at like 23 cents. You're at about 20 on here. So keep an eye on that LRHC. It could get in the right spot right there and bounce up real nice. So we will watch that bad boy. And again, just it was set up perfectly. You could tell the other week. And I can tell you exactly what day. February 21st, it was perfect, but the market was a disaster and it pulled it down. And that was that. But a lot of them, it did happen too, but they get set up and still run. How about that S dot? That was trying to run the other day, pulled back into that channel. And I think this thing's going to try to roll off the MACD. Let me take a better look at SDOT. And yeah, I would take a look at this tomorrow, guys. It did pull back on Friday, 307 down to 290. Its high was 321, and that's where it ended up closing. It ran up at the end of the day, and I think that was your little dip and rip after it's already been ripping. So that was your SD. OT. Oh, audio is popping in and out. Thank you very much, Barbara. Let me move that and see. Is that a little bit better, maybe? Let me do this and do that. Hold on. Thank you, Barbara, for telling me. And let me know if that makes it a little bit better right there. So you guys let me know if that helped because I looked at the phone. You know what it was? I started a minute late. The charger wouldn't go in. I constantly have problems. I probably need a new phone, I'm sure, but I guess I always get stuff in the charging port, and it's always a nightmare trying to get it to charge. And yeah, I couldn't get it to start charging. I'm like, well, if I don't charge my phone during the show, it'll definitely die. And that's what I was like fumbling around with for like 2, 3 minutes before the show started. So it probably the phone might have been a little lower than it usually is there. That should be much better right there, actually. So just let me know. Thank you, Barbara, for letting me know that. And here we go. Just let me know if it's any better or worse. And S dot, like I said, I think that one's getting set up right there and looking pretty good. So it did pull back, and I think it might have been that dip and rip look on Friday. Clue CLEU or CLEU. Yeah, that's how you spell that one. And that's that China liberal education one that recently split. It pulled back on Friday. I was just curious if it wants to try to pop here, and maybe not. It looks like it could be just pulling back some more. So that looks like that clue, and it never really, if I could type it in here, it never really got cruising. They had set up there, especially these education ones in China, for like a couple days, and some of them did pop. This one did reverse split and just kind of pulling, not even pulling back, just making a base. I mean, it did pull back that 28 cents, but it is just kind of making a base there. We'll keep an eye on it, CLEU, and see if it wants to do something there. That clue and OCGN, let's see what that's up to right here. OCGN, that looks like it's trying to get set up, and I know we've been watching it. I know we know this thing kind of hits the line right here. I would expect it to pull back a little bit maybe tomorrow, just because it's hitting that line. It's been trying to cross up. This is probably like the second time it's doing it. So I wouldn't doubt if it does pull back, but it might not be a terrible thing right there. So I'll keep an eye on that OCGN, and it's much better. Thank you very much, Barber. Appreciate it. Yeah, the phone was way low, like way under where I usually talk. So that's what happened right there. Appreciate you saying that, because I would have never knew, and you guys would have been like, "What is he even talking about?" So yeah, OCGN though, yeah, definitely looking like it wants to cross through. We just know that pattern. So let it pull back, but I'm telling you, this thing will get set up, and it could even be like 2, 3 weeks away now, just because everything's kind of pulling back, hitting the MACD, falling down some more. But like I said, you catch this at the bottom, and they could have something major going on, and that's how the chart kind of looks. And we've been watching it, and we'll just keep on watching. And how about UPS was up $1.12? Looks like it wants to continue up. Just watch out. There's some resistance there at that 122.50, but we definitely caught that bottom and got that to run up there. So that is UPS looking pretty decent on that run up right there. And again, hitting the 50. So just be careful if it wants to pull back a hair and then get set back up. But that was a nice run up right there, and it could even run up early in the morning tomorrow and have that little pullback. So we'll take a look at it. And Lockheed Martin, another one. We were all over it, up 12.15, and there you go, LMT. And that thing looks like it's going to continue rolling up there. And we had that bottom right there perfectly, too. I mean, we nailed that thing down there at that 419.70, and it's at 477 now. So that was a nice one right there for LMT, Lockheed Martin. And that's exactly what we're going to find. An ELF we did at the very beginning of the show, and another one is hitting the 20. We'll see tomorrow. Looking good, but we nailed that one too perfectly. And Advanced Auto Parts, AAP. And we know this one's going to try to start cruising up, and I kind of like it coming out of that basement. So keep an eye on your Advance. It started to move on Friday, and we'll see what it wants to do on tomorrow morning. 33.64 up to 35.60, and it closed at that 35.37 right there. So yeah, I think that one does look good. Laptop Travel likes it, and I think that is looking good for your Advanced Auto Parts. And again, we followed that all the way down to the bottom right there, and your bottom probably was that Friday at that 33.08. And again, we'll take a look at it tomorrow morning, but it is looking much better. And how about that TTD, is that trade desk, and we're watching this one to get set up. It's hitting that line tomorrow. I kind of have a feeling it may pull back a hair, so let's just see what it does tomorrow, TTD, and then we will evaluate that one. So let me just make a line there, because that one's going to be a great one to keep an eye on, and I'll keep you guys posted on that one and let you know what it wants to do right there. And that is that TTD. We've been watching it pull back, and LGMK was starting to move. Logic Mark, we were all over this one, LGMK, and we kind of knew this was bottom down, starting to roll up there. And what it do, 19 to 23, it closed at 20, still looking good. Your 20's up there at like 38 cents. So I would keep an eye on Logic Mark, LGMK tomorrow. That's looking good. And how about HEPA, HEPA? We've been looking at this one the last few weeks, and it has been pulling back in the basement right there, trying to roll off that MACD. And Friday could be that bottom look on it. So I'll look at it tomorrow morning. We'll make sure it wants to roll off that MACD. I'll make a line right there and we'll take a look at HEPA and we'll just make sure. I know that DGLY was looking decent right there. It was up a little bit on Friday and that's in a good spot trying to cruise. So keep an eye on that DGLY because that also looks really good right there, I must say. So yeah, I would be watching that when your 20s up here at about 10 cents. You're at 7. So you may get that good little 3 cent pop, but that's good on these penny stocks right there. 7 to 10, 3 cents, not bad. And PLUG, good old plug, that was up 13 cents, and we knew where that bottom was at 137. You're at 175, and it's starting to plug up higher. So there you go with that one. We caught that one at the bottom, and that was perfect. PLUG. So continue to watch that for a little momentum right there. And how about your CYCU? We like that one too. It was down a little bit Friday, but it did pop up there the other day, and it's curling up. This week is the week to take a look at this bad boy. It's hitting that MACD like right now, and we know they like to dip a little bit when they're doing it. So we will keep an eye on it. Like I said, it did run up there like a day or two out the other day on the 5th, which was Wednesday. That bad boy was running up there. So we'll find it for the next little pop up, and I'll look at CYCU tomorrow as well. And let's see what good old B Hat that was trying to set up right here. BHAT, Blue Hat Interactive Entertainment. And that's another one getting to be in the right spot and could really have a really nice pop now that I look at B Hat. I know it was setting up last week. I kind of forgot. And yeah, you might want to really look at B Hat right there. That's setting up and looking pretty good. So I would definitely keep an eye on that in the morning. BHAT, that is right there. And how about that XLO? That was down 2 cents. I know we've been looking at it, and that 20 is trying to curl up to that 50, and it's below it. So I'll have to keep an eye on it and see if it can get rolling up here. It looked like it was trying to the other day, 91 to 96, and then it closed at 93. So it seems to be hitting that resistance at that 20 up here at like 96 cents and can't get through it. So for whatever reason, not sure, but we'll have to look at it. And again, it could just be pulling back there as it tries to curl up for the first time. And we already know that pattern, so I wouldn't be jumping into that real fast. And that is XLO. And how about SUNE? This one did pop up there on Friday, and we were definitely looking at it on the last couple days before it. SUNE, and it did go 28 to 59. It closed at 33, and we'll still look at it. It could have a little more momentum in the morning. I can't promise you on that one. And again, it'll probably hit that MACD and come down, but you get that pop. And honestly, they're popping like 3 days before they're hitting the MACD right now. Is kind of that pattern. So that's about where that is. It looks like it's about 3 days out. The weekend throws it off in the timing, but that's what it looks like. And I'll time it out right here, SUNE. Because whatever other one we just looked at that pop recently, CYCU, that popped on Wednesday, had about 3 days out too. It was definitely 3 days out right there. So and there you go. I'll keep an eye on that. And that is your SUNE, and I'll look at it tomorrow. And UOKA, this thing, guys, is like crazy and getting in the right spot and loves to run. You might want to keep an eye on this UOKA. And again, I don't even know what this company even does right here. Real estate services in the UK is what they do. And this thing has been cruising around, jumping up like crazy in a good spot. And you might want to keep an eye on it. This UOKA, because it is looking UOKA right now. I'll tell you that in between that channel 17 and it ran right up there to that 18. And it does want to keep running up, guys. So keep an eye on UOKA. And CDT, hold on, let me type it in. Good old Conduit Pharmaceuticals right here. Just running that bottom. Had that really nice dip the other day down to 98 right there. CDT. And let's see what Conduit Pharmaceuticals is doing. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's trying to set back up after that dip the other day. So we'll keep an eye on the CDT. This one could be a good one setting up for this week. Your 20's right up over it at like 141. Not exactly over it, but it's not too far off. and we'll see how it opens up tomorrow. I'll look at that. CPHI. This one was up a little. That's that China Pharma Holdings. I remember this was looking pretty good with momentum on Thursday, and it did run up a little bit there on Friday. Or yeah, Thursday. I remember it was run up there, and it ran like 20 to 29. It closed at 24, and then Friday 20 to 24. It's at 22. A little bit of healthy pullback, but not looking bad. I would keep an eye on this. It could get back up into this 25 area with no problem. So that is your CPHI right there, China Pharma Holdings. And let's take a look at ACON and see what ACON is going to do for us tomorrow. I know it was running up the other day and then took a nice pullback. I'll tell you what, though, it is getting set up again. So let me see. And that's why you just got to trade these out pretty fast because Thursday it ran up there. What set it was up at 7. Oh yeah, that's right. This thing was up there and took a huge dip. I forgot 773. Now that I look at it, and it came all the way down to 105. It closed at 155, and then on Friday 157 to 209. It closed at 137. So it is just dipping down, and we'll see. I'll watch it and see if it can roll off the MACD. But I'll tell you what, it is in a good spot after that big dip. And obviously, you definitely didn't want to be in it before that dip or during that dip. You wanted to get in it. It did. It popped off right here, February 28th, ran up 3 days, took a huge dip, and came back way under. So I'll keep an eye on that ACON, and we'll see when that will be okay to get into it. And PTPI, that Petros Pharmaceuticals, and this thing was starting to set up, and it is trying to cross through. Let me take a look. It could pull itself back tomorrow. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I mean, it does have that momentum going in over the weekend. You never know. And of course, we know that pattern. So I'll take a look at PTPI tomorrow morning. But you did get that run up over 10% there on Friday. So don't be upset if you get a little pullback there, and we'll see if it can cross through. It'll be an interesting one because it looks like it has the momentum going into a weekend, which then you never know what's going to happen, especially right now. They are really crazy. So you almost are scared to hold them over the weekend. It could go either way real quick. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we'll look at that PTPI and Icon ICON. This one is crawling up and looking much better. And I know it ran up Friday and we were all over this. Yeah, what it do? 16 to 23. It closed at that 21. It's trying to get up to that 20 right there, 25 cents. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets there tomorrow. So keep an eye on Icon, but we were definitely all over that one. Ed kind of knew when it bottomed out there. It's trying to get out of the basement. We'll see if it can do it. And that's ICON, if I could spell, and COEP right here, that Copus Therapeutics. Let's see, because that one had a huge run up, and I think it's just kind of dipping down, making a base. I mean, it is pretty strong. I'm not going to lie. That 50's down here, 962, and it has some more support in the eights. But it does look like it's either trying to pull back or make a base. So we'll see what happens when it comes down to that 50 right there, and that's COEP right there. So again, we'll keep an eye on that one. That one did run up really big, though. AEON. That's AEON Biopharm, and this one's way down there. And you know what? This one's trying to roll off that MACD and get cruising. So keep an eye on this after that nice dip. And again, patience really pays on the market right now because that bottom probably was right there at about 40 cents. And it was setting up before to get moving. And that bad boy was like way up there. So yeah, this thing took a huge dip as well. Back on February 24th, it was like in the $8 range. It came down into the fours, and now it's in the 60s. And I don't even see it reverse split anywhere. I mean, this thing took a major, major dip. And I would say we got to keep an eye on this for a nice rip right here. So AEON, I want to keep an eye on that one right there. Looking good. And AGH, I saw a couple people mention this one. What was that? Is that one that ran up the other day? And oh no, this one just put. Oh, this is a new one that's pulled back there. Did we even look at this? I don't even know. Oh yeah, it definitely did. I can recognize the name. It's like that Ayers Greenway or whatever. And this thing's down there. This is a new one, and it did run up recently, and then it just took a major pullback right there. And let's see, it's a leisure company in the USA. It went up 9 cents on Friday. Let me take a look at this thing. I mean, it's so new, it's hard to tell. It could literally just try to be setting up and pull back a little bit. I'll look at it tomorrow, AGH. I know a few people had asked about it, and it was running up there on Friday. And watch it early in the morning. If it keeps the momentum, obviously you're gonna know. It's at 68 cents. It had run up to 71, so it very well could keep that momentum. And again, it's so new that I don't really have that data to take a look at it. You guys know I like to look at a chart that's been running. It started February 12th at like 437. So you're down here at 69 cents. And we will look at AGH. I'll keep an eye on that one right there. And how about IPA right here? Immunoprecise Antibodies has earnings coming up on the 13th, which is this Thursday. I mean, yeah, this Thursday. And that's IPA. It is crossed over hitting the 20, but it's one of them ones that could pull itself back. Yeah, easily pull itself back and come down. I would expect it to pull back tomorrow, is what it looks like to me, just knowing what they've been doing. So that is IPA. And SLNH, that's Soluna Holdings, is getting set up, guys. But just keep an eye on it. It's been trying to tap through that MACD. It's finally trying to get out of the basement right here. And we know they go a little flat sometimes when they do it. So let me just watch it tomorrow. Like I said, it is trying to get through. If it doesn't, it's going to probably pull back for that last time and be a pretty good pullback. So you don't want to get caught in it if it does. And if it's curling through, you know it's going to start running. So there you go. You'll know it's going up. But you definitely don't want to get caught if it's pulling back on you. LICN, that Lichen, we were watching this, didn't this one like reverse split or something the other day, I thought too. And did something the other day. I don't remember what it did, but yeah, it definitely did something. What did it do? Yeah, reverse split. Here we go. It looks like it bottomed out there on Thursday, and it does look like it's trying to roll up there. LICN, it's another one we were looking at with that clue right there, LICN. So let's see what it's doing. Yeah, it does look pretty good to try to get cruising. LICN, so that is off that reverse split. So keep an eye on that one. And that is a China Specialty Business Services. And again, we were looking at that at the same time as Clue. I think they reverse split the same day too. So this one's looking pretty good. And that NEOV, Neo Volta, and this one looks like it's just kind of pulling back and hitting that MACD. I mean, could it bounce up? It could, but it's not really showing me that look. So I would assume it's trying to pull back right there. I'll look at it, but not really giving me anything crazy. And that CETX is that next one that we're going to be watching to just run out of the basement and start looking at it really soon. I think we don't have to look at this one very long. It's been in the basement for a long time. I think our bottom's there the other day on Tuesday, and it was down at 149. You're at 160. Just watch for any dips right here. But I think this is trying to get set up, guys. So let's keep an eye on the CETX. We love them when they're in the basement like this and they can get moving. So I'll look at that tomorrow. And let me just keep on cruising here. Like I said, we got a nice big list, but it's all good. We'll see. And honestly, there's a ton of setups because I'm just making dots at what looks decent, so I can run through them pretty quick tomorrow just to get a good idea. And I'll tell you what, there's a bunch of them. So I think even if the Mag 7's pulling back, we know that these small caps do like to pop, and we do. We find the poppers even in the Mag 7, the big caps and everything else. So it don't really matter. If the market's red or not, we still find what wants to run. ASTS, You guys know we've been talking about this bad boy with my buddy Ben, and yeah, it looks pretty good right there. I think it did exactly what we were saying on Thursday night when he hopped on, and I was saying, it does look like it wants to try to run, but we kind of know when they get to the spot, they hit that resistance up there. It ran like 31.40 up to $34 and then pull back a little bit. So 31.97 up to 34.06, and then it came down to the 29.55 and closed at that 33.36, nice and strong. And I'm pretty sure they might have had some news today. I'm not exactly sure. I forget exactly what it was, but I am almost positive they had something. I don't see it here on the FinViz, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they had some good news there. And I would tell you, but I forget. I was hoping it was down there, but it's not. But we'll find out what it is. I know Ben posted it. And I think I might even posted it this morning. I don't even remember. So today felt like it was like 3 days ago now. So anyway, but that is our ASTS, and I would say it's looking pretty strong, so I would be keeping an eye on that one. How about our buddy Holo? This was trying to set up last week, and let's see, I forget what it looks like, to be honest. It is rolling off that MACD. It was in a pretty good spot. The 20's coming down. I'd have to look at it in the morning. It was hitting up on that 20 right there on Friday. It went 109 to 118. It closed at 106. And like I said, it's not looking too bad. I'll look at it on tomorrow morning and see what Holo wants to do right there. Don't look bad at all. And ALLR, this is one that had run. This was the first one that popped out of the basement, or is this the second one? I forget. Anyway, yeah, this is the first one, Alarity. And then the other one was a different one. But anyway, this one's getting ready to cruise up. And we were looking at it the other day. It's been running up here, ALLR. And let's see what it wants to do here. Well, ALLR, here we go. Yeah, actually, it wants to keep running up there. It's at $1 to $1.10. That's where it closed. It got down to 98, and that 20's curling up and looks like it wants to keep it cruising. So, oh, what did I just do? Um, yeah, I didn't want to do that. All right, hold on one second. But yeah, ALLR looking good. Let me just bring in the FinViz again because I just messed it all up. I don't know what I did. Anyway, but yeah, keep an eye on this thing because it looks like it wants to continue to run up there and curl up this week. So that is ALLR, and I would put a mark next to that one too. So a ton of these small caps are going to look good, and I think they will be running. So we will be picking out the good ones. Good old Nubaru right here. Or yeah, that's how you spell it. Nuburu. But the stock ticker is just Buru, Buru right here. It's called Nubaru. Pulling back to that MACD line. And let's see how many times it actually came back up there because it came curling up and down once. This is kind of the first time. I would expect it to try to curl off. Maybe Friday was its bottom where it came down to that 18 cents. I'll look at Nubaru tomorrow and let's see if that wants to get rolling again. It could, honestly. If not, excuse me, if not, it's just going to pull back a little bit and then get set up. So it's not looking terrible. We just have to see if it's ready. Sens, SENS. This one's way down there. And we just have to see it's trying to make that bottom. We just have to look at it tomorrow and see if Friday was its bottom. It could easily dip down a little bit more, but it kind of looks like that 56 cent area is going to be its bottom right there. So I'll look at that tomorrow. SENS. Let me take a look at that. And how about ADD? I know we looked at this thing before. Color Star Technology. It's been running right down there. It just keeps dipping down, like running and then dipping down a level. Trying to curl up and trying to run off the bottom, but it's tried to multiple times. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. I mean, it does look much better, but it has had this look like 100 times. So you got to be careful with it because it could easily just keep running down there and pull back another level. So I'll look at ADD before you want to add that one. And let's see what BF, I'm sure this is going to be an OTC here. BFGFF. There we are. It's called Giant Mining Corp. And actually, this chart's easy to read. It's at 28 cents. This one you can see easily. And you know what? It could be a good one. It did crawl down. It's hitting the MACD, but it is trying to roll off that 20 as well. I kind of like this as an OTC. I'm not a big OTC fan. The charts don't usually show me much. But this one's not looking bad. I would look at it again tomorrow and take a peek at it. But yeah, if it pulls back, it's coming back into this into your 50 right here, like 25 cents, and you're at like 28-cent area, so almost 29. Not looking too bad. It's called BF, or it's, the stock ticker is BFGFF. So it is an OTC, and it's called Giant Mining Corp. So yeah, that one's not looking too bad for an OTC for you OTCers that like them. Check it out. And HOTH, this one was trying to get set up the other day. I think you might have a little bit of pullback on it. I think these ones have to like really get set up, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think so. I do think on yeah, I think it does have to get a little more set up, but it's going to be a decent one. So watch for it to pull back. You have some good support down here at like 82-cent area, and this is at that 110. I'll look at it. If it can get up over this like 122 area, and it's got up there, but it was still in that support channel, support and resistance. If it can get up to like that 122, 124 and like really keep it moving, it could pop up, but I just don't see it happening tomorrow. But I can look at HOTH and let you know. And how about that STSS, that Sharps technology we've been looking at? And that one I remember was trying to run up there on Friday. Was it in the after hours or something? I don't really remember, but 27 to 42, it closed at 38. What's this one? Yeah, well, this one has it at in the after hours. Yeah, it was running in the after hours, and it did get over that 20. I remember it was looking pretty good in the after hours there. Keep an eye on that STSS as well for tomorrow morning for sure, because that one could be a nice little momentum play coming off of Friday. And let's look at ADTX. Someone just I think just I just looked at the screen and someone just posted, but ADTX was the other one that we were looking at that popped out of the basement too, and got running for us. So ALLR was the first one, and ADTX was the second, and CETX is going to be the third. So there you go. And like I said, CETX I don't think has much more time in it, so might catch that one fairly quick. ADTX here, dragging that bottom. I know we caught that pop, and obviously, because we were looking at it forever. And here we go, ADTX. It's trying to curl back up there, 5 to 6. It's back at 5. I'll look at it. It does look like it could have bottomed back out there, like that 4.5 area the other day. And maybe it wants, and again, once they're over the MACD, I like to try to roll off a few times. This one could easily roll back off that MACD line and try to run back up to the 20, which is at 8 cents. So there you go with ADTX. So we'll look at that tomorrow and see if it does want to roll off and get cruising. And like I said, it very well could. And how about Hims and Hers? This one was way up there. It ran up even higher than I thought it was. It was up at like 72.98, somewhere's in that like 73 area. And to be honest with you, I thought in the 60s it was topping out. I'm not going to lie. And then it popped up like even more than that. And I was pretty impressed. And then it came back, and now you're at 35.95. So again, if 60s looks like it's topped out there and it runs up to 70 and you sell it in the 60 and it goes up to 70, you might be mad, let me tell you, for 1 2 days. That's it, 2 days. You're gonna be, God damn it, I could have. And then the minute you 3 days later, you're coming back down underneath of where you just sold it at, and you're gonna be way happier. And again, can anyone pick that? Like I said, I didn't think it was going up that higher, and now you're at 35.95 and could still be pulling back here. So that's why I tell you guys, when they get up there, you gotta lock them in, and there's a great example of why. So, and I'm telling you, I really did think it was topped out there at the 60s. I remember the guys on the small cap show, which I'll be on tomorrow. I tweeted it out today. I believe it's 1 o'clock. It's either 1 or 2. I think it's 1 o'clock. I will double check. and let you know in the morning. But yeah, I'll be on there, and yeah, the one of the guys had it, and he was riding it up. I couldn't. I was like, man, that's awesome. But yeah, I was looking at it like, man, that thing looks topped out. But and then it jumped up the next day. I was so amazed. I was like, holy shit, that thing just ripped. And now it's back to 35. Not saying it's not going to run back up, but again, you could have sold it there, and it started running off this $27 area, like down here somewhere is 29. So you're almost back at that level. So that's why you got to sell them when they're way up there. And that is your HIMS, HIMS. And again, I'll look at it. I think you could have a little bit more pullback in it. So we will definitely look at it, and we'll get it to run up when it wants to. And now what is this one? Hold on. I have no idea if this is the. I don't even know what I wrote down. It's like I've never seen this one. I don't even remember writing it down tonight. It is an OTC. I don't even remember writing this. VAYK. Holy cow! I don't. It's an OTC or, and this chart's not as easy. It's got the two zeros in front. That's why. And yeah, I really couldn't tell you. It's over the MACD coming down. It could curl up and go up higher, but I honestly couldn't really tell you on that one. Not a good OTCer for me on that one. Like I said, that other one that we looked at, BFGFF or whatever. Yeah, that's what it is, BFGFF. That one, that chart was pretty normal. So I could kind of tell what's going on. But this one, not so much. Sorry. Apologize. Like I said, I'll look at them, but I can't always tell on the OTCers. So that one I can't really tell. But anyway, let's keep on rolling here. EMED. And I don't even know. Maybe that's an OTC. I wasn't familiar with that. Yeah, that is. And electromedical technology, another one. Like these charts are a little crazy to me, so I have no idea. And ECGI, let's look. And that one looks like another one. This one has two zeros, maybe a little bit easier, but I can't really tell what's going on right there either. So yeah, I'm not a good OTC person to look at them. AFFU looks like another one that I just can't tell. So yeah, I have no idea what these guys are doing. And whoever sent them in, I apologize, but OTCers aren't my thing, and I just can't even tell what the heck they want to do. Just being honest. EJH, remember we were looking at this the other day with the China ones, and it was trying to get set up. This one ran up Friday. I forget what day, but it was getting set up there, and it did run up, and it went 60 to 75. It's at 68. I'd keep an eye on this one. And we'll look at that WTO. I remember that was pulling back and that one was running up there. WTO might have just bottomed out there at that 22 and a half. So this one, it's trying to crawl up. I'll keep an eye on it, WTO, and we'll definitely see if it wants to crawl through. And again, just knowing that pattern, we got to be super careful because it just came through coming down, and now it's trying to crawl up, and we know that they can hit it and come way down there. So I'll look at it tomorrow. But that EJH not looking bad right there. And let's look at the letters UK right here. U commune or something international. I think that's how you say it. It is sitting on the support line right there. It keeps pulling back. Let me see. I mean, it could have it keeps wanting to bottom out. I don't know. I think it might be pulling back, to be honest with you, to get set up. I would think that that one needs a little more time to set up just to look at it. I mean, I can look at it in a day or two and let you know what it looks like because you'll be able to tell, but I don't think it's ready to do anything tomorrow. And that Genprex, that GNPX, this thing's just making a base down here, but has a weird look. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. Hold on, let me look at it in the after hours here. GNPX. Yeah, we might have to look at this thing coming up. It could have bottomed out the other day. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking too bad. I'm not gonna lie. GNPX, I'll keep an eye on that tomorrow and see if it's getting set up right there. It's not looking bad. I can't say that it is. I'll put a little dot next to it and we'll see. And how about our Lion LGHL? I think that probably tried to bottom out the other day, but I can't promise you on that one either. Let me see in the after hours. LGHL. I mean, it's going to try to curl up, but again, I don't know if it's going to cross through that MACD right there. So that's at LGHL, and we'll just look at the other big cats real quick. JAGX. That one is way pulled back and going to try to curl up. I don't think that one's ready just yet, so we'll keep an eye. It is trying to curl up, but again, I think these guys are going to be hitting that MACD and coming back down. We know that pattern. I don't think it's going anywhere. And the cheetah looks like that one's pulling back as well. So not too crazy with the big cats. Although cheetah looked pretty good in the after hour. Let me see. Yeah, it did run up in the after. I was gonna say that one looked better there at 189. I'll look at it, did roll off in the after hours there, pulled back pretty nice to 155 on Friday, and it closed at 189. So we'll look at Cheetah. Let me jot that one down. CTNT. And we can look at that and see that one looked the best out of them all. And we'll just look at Red Cat RCAT. And that one had been pulling back there. And I think this one's probably going to be pulling back some more. It's trying to make that base, but I almost feel like it's going to pull back another level. So we will look at RCAT as well. And I'll take a better look at it tomorrow to see what it wants to do there. RSLS. This one's in the basement, just pulling back. It did cross through. Let me see. Let's see what it wants to do here. Yeah, I think this one's just going to be running flat for a moment. It's trying to get moving. I'd have to look at it tomorrow to be honest. That RSLS, so I'll take a look at this and see. I'll put a question mark because that one I just have no idea. But it could get set up. That's why I'm saying I'll take a look at it. Just could go either way. KITT, I think this one, Nauticus Robotics at Aerospace and Defense. I think this we know is going to hit that MACD and pull back. So it ran up a couple days, and I think you're about to see some pullback on it. So that's KITT. There we go. All right, there we go. I was out there like blowing leaves around, and I swear I like, already messed up my allergies. I guess one warm day and it's nice out, and then all of a sudden your allergies are killing you. Anyway, KITT not looking like it wants to cross through there, so I will have to look at that tomorrow. And I have a feeling, like I said, it's going to bounce down, and we'll see if it does. YCBD, let's see what YCBD wants to do. And another one, I think it's just going to be getting set up here and not ready to get cruising yet. Honestly, they're just not ready. You can see it's trying to get set up, and we just know that they hit that MACD and come back down. So if we didn't know that pattern, guys, I'm telling you, almost 80% would be just killing us right now. And just knowing that pattern, look at what we just did. We hit every single one that wanted to cruise at the moment we wanted to pop up without even getting caught in anything pulling back. So, I mean, just nailing them perfectly. Obviously, you have to be very patient, but we definitely know that pattern for sure. I mean, it's not even a question. And we're ripping through them, to be honest. And yeah, we can't complain a whole lot here with the market pulling back, but obviously when it gets bottomed out and starts really cruising up, that's when we're going to really crush them option calls going up. And again, we'll see if it wants to go down tomorrow or some more. We'll just put it down some more, like I've been telling you guys. So GNS, let's see what it wants to do here. This genius. This is getting set up, guys. This is one to keep an eye on. I don't. It almost looks like it want. I wish it didn't have. I bet the weekend messed it up right there. It was trying to get cruising on Friday, and I think it just being over the weekend, I think you're just going to have it pull back and get set up better. Just my speculation from looking at the chart real quick. I'll look at it though, GNS, because I like that setup right there. I like when they're right on that line, and I really do think if it didn't close like that on a Friday, if it was like a Wednesday or even a Thursday, it could have got popping. So we'll look at it. It might not throw it off real bad, but you just can't really tell if it really wants to pop up tomorrow after the weekend. Just too much craziness going on. MSN, Emerson Radio. And this one just has to get set up. Another one still has like 2 weeks, so definitely not crossing through or getting ready. And CNC. CXDO, or yeah, it's CXDO. This one's pulling back there. That one's definitely not getting through that MACD. I have to see it in the after hours. But yeah, this one you could probably even short down right there. It looks like it hit that MACD and just turned around and went down. And TTOO, I know that wasn't that an OTC, or I remember it used to be a penny stock. I know that. I traded it a million times. It is looking good. I remember we looked at it the one day and it really popped up the next day. I could tell you it was February 18th. I remember what the chart looked like. And now it looks good again. So OTCers, the guy that liked OTCs, I would look at TTOO right there. If you're looking at OTCs, I'd look at that one and potentially, where was that other guy? Whatever it was, I had five letters. Oh, BFGFF. I would look at them two guys because they look much better than the other ones that we were checking out a little bit ago, and they are the OTCs. And like I said, I'm not the best at them, but them two aren't looking too bad. PDD, it does look like it wants to run through. Let me look. It's on that 20 again. I just kind of feel like it's pulling back. It wants to. Don't get me wrong. PDD. It does have that look. I'd have to look at this tomorrow. I'm gonna write down PDD for tomorrow morning to look at, and I'll take a quick peek at that one and see, because it's teetering right there on the 20. It could definitely go either way. I feel like it wants to pull back, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'd like to just guarantee you and let you know, because it could be a good popper if it wants to run, but if it wants to pull back, obviously we want to make sure that it's we're catching that bottom there. So that is PDD right there. And let's see what else. ISPC, iSpecimen. And that one's pulling back. And yeah, I doubt this one's going to try to curl through immediately either. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, just knowing, I mean, it made that quick curl through coming down. It's trying to make it quick going up. I have to look at it tomorrow, ISPC, but I don't think it will. Just knowing that look. But again, I can look at it tomorrow and let you know. Dogwood Therapeutics is DWTX. This one actually popped on Friday right there. Not looking too bad, but again with the momentum, I mean, it's trying to cross through. I don't know though, because over the weekend, if it wasn't, if it didn't do that on a Friday, I'd say it might have kept that momentum and actually broke through that MACD. It looked like it wants to be honest. They might have had some good news. I don't see any news, but they had to do something to get it moving like that. It moved up like 50% the other day on Friday, and it's hitting that line, and I'm not so sure it can go through tomorrow. It's another one I got to jot down. DWTX. Interesting one right there. I'm just curious if it can get through tomorrow, to be honest with you, right there. So we'll definitely look at that one. I'll take a peek at that. DWTX. And SDST, is that Stardust Power? Yeah. In the basement still. And this one we might have to look at too. This one may have to stay in the basement for a little while. I tried to get moving right at the time them other ones were trying to the market was pulling back, and this one just couldn't do it either. And it was looking good to try to do it. It just didn't want to move. And I think it may stay in the basement just for a hair. That 20's, I think, coming down. I was trying to test it on Friday. I'll look at it tomorrow, SDST, and we'll see what it looks like. But yeah, it's just been pulling back. And maybe Friday's that dip and rip, because it looks like it did pull back there on Friday. It would have come down to 62 cents, and then it closed at that 69. So we'll take a look at Stardust Power, SDST. It doesn't look terrible. It just could pull back a little bit is what it looks like. And let's look at LAES. This one last week wasn't looking bad. I think it was last week. Yeah, it was popping up at the end of the week. I remember we were looking at it. It was up on Friday, and it ran up almost the entire week last week. Maybe Monday it pulled back. Yeah, Monday it pulled back, and then the rest of the week it was moving. And I remember looking at this, and I don't expect it to cross through, to be honest with you. So I think you might have a little pullback if it gets up to that 321 area. Yeah, you're probably going to hit that resistance and come back on LAES and radar RDAR. What's that one? Hold on. That's an OTCer. And that's another one, like just a weird chart. And I mean, it looks like the MACDs are flat running each other. I could look at it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to tell. FPGL, let's look at that FBS Global. That's that new one. Now, this one we've been looking at, and let's see what it wants to do here. Let me get a better look in the after hours, FBGL. And yeah, it is trying to curl up here. I would keep an eye on this thing this week, guys. So FBGL, it is a new one, that engineering and construction in Singapore. And we'll just see if it can pull back. Maybe that bottom is right there at that 78. We're at about 84, 87 cents, somewhere in that area. And I would take a look at that this week. FBGL, I do think it, I mean, like I said, it's new, it's in the basement, but it is trying to get set up. So it is one to keep an eye on, that's for sure. An RNAZ transcode, I know we looked at this last week. I don't think that's ready. It's just running down there, RNAZ. And yeah, I don't think so because, again, we know that, look, it's not even curling up yet. So I think that's going to stay off. AETH, and that one is way down there, bitwise, trendwise, Ether. This is a ETF right here. And yeah, it's just way in the basement. It was trying to curl up, but I'm not sure what it's going to do tomorrow. You can tell it's like a little weird right there. It's trying to curl up, like I'm saying, but I'd have to look at AETH. And again, that's at Bitwise, Trendwise, Ether, and Treasuries Rotation Strategy ETF is what it is. And yeah, I'd have to look at that bad boy. It's down there though. So yeah, I'll look at that. Just a little weird. What else is here? True Golf, TRUG. Let's look at that one. True Golf right here. That one's pulling back, and we might have it pull back here to the 34 cent area. And this one may have to just get completely set back up, to be honest with you. It was trying to bounce that one day, and it just couldn't do it. And now it's crossed through, and we'll see. And again, we know they like to hit that MACD a couple times and bounce down. So, not so sure it's going to get set up immediately on True Golf. So we will keep an eye on that one and see how far it wants to pull back and when it wants to get set up for TRUG and ANVS. Let's see. This one is trying to curl up actually and get out of the basement. ANVS here. Let's see. Yeah, this one's not bad right there. ANVS. We could look at that tomorrow. And there you go with them bad boys. I'm going to run through the laptop travel ones and the Jolie's jams, and then we will take a look and see what you guys want to see real quick. And then we'll see what the SPY and the big caps are looking like. And obviously, Bitcoin, I'll just tell you, 81,771. Solana's down at 127. Ethereum's like 2046, guys, and Ripple's at 217 right now, and H bar's down at 20. Cardano is at 73. So you're seeing some big old pullback in crypto and some major pullback in crypto. Doge is back to 17 cents. And let's see, I wanted to see what Chainlink was at. It was down there. Hold on, it's coming up. 1 second. I'm just waiting for the stock cube to cruise through and let me know what it says. Here we go. It's at 7 or 13. I knew it wasn't that high. 1397. Like I said, I knew it pulled back pretty big, and that is Chainlink. So I would say crypto's pulled back and it's not looking great. So we probably don't even have to go through the charts. We'll go through them in the morning. So yeah, there you go with your crypto report and not looking good. I actually saw the ETF 500 get under the 4 million market cap at like 3.9. So that was holding itself up pretty damn strong. And obviously, if Solana's way back like that, that thing's still holding itself up pretty strong considering the rest of the market's pulling back so hard. So just another reason why, that one's going to be a good one when they turn around and run, because these things are out there going to be bottomed out, and then they're going to go to their all-time highs, and then you're going to have to definitely sell them because they're going to be coming right back down, especially in this market and just how crazy it is. So there you go with that. And that is your crypto right there. And here we go. Let's look at our laptop travel list and see. He said there was a lot of good ones. I actually didn't look at the list before. I actually didn't look at any of them. So sometimes I usually look at a few of them as I'm going through real quick. I didn't even take a look. And we already know most of them are probably pretty set up and ready to roll. We'll just see which ones are really getting cruising tomorrow. And here we go. AUTL. That is curling up right there. It is hitting that channel though. The only thing is it might hit that 50, just kind of making a base right there. I'll look at that one tomorrow. AUTL, BTM. Let's see what Bitcoin Depot is doing. I'd be amazed if this one was like really running up. And again, Friday, they weren't looking so bad. This one doesn't look bad. It's in the 20, in that channel over to 20 at 132, and the 50s up here at 148. We'll have to look at it in the morning for BTM because that one could go. I mean, it looks like it wants to run up. I'm not going to lie, but that one could obviously change around. CETY, good old clean energy technologies. Now, this one looks like it wants to get curled up and moving. So keep an eye on this. We'll look and see if it has any pullback right there on CETY. But it does look like it's trying to get set up onto that 20. And CLNN, this one's in that channel too. And another one, this one's curled through. Maybe it's not like 100% runner, but it's at 458. It could easily come up to that 479 and be an easy trade. So keep an eye on that. CLNN. It's called Clean. CLENE. Whatever, packaged foods from USA. Never even heard of it. CLNN. But not looking terrible. Like I said, a little run up right there. And how about CRVS, Corvus Pharmaceuticals? And this one's curling up right there. It's up 24 cents and could keep its momentum tomorrow. So maybe one to keep an eye on. That 50s right there, 496 or at 462. So that one's not looking too bad to try to keep the momentum. And that is CRVS, and that DTCK. I kind of laugh, chuckle in my head every time I look at this thing because, I mean, what letters are ever with a D, a C, and a K, and then you put a T in the middle? Like, I mean, it's so crazy. It just looks like dick. But it's not. It's DTCK, Davis Commodities, guys, and it is trying to crawl up here. It was running around last week. I know we were watching it, and it was just bouncing around. It actually bounces around quite a bit, so keep an eye on it because it could run up from this 95 and run to that 102 and just do it like nonstop. So I'll keep an eye on that. DTCK right there. And it is Davis Commodities. And how about EHGO, Eshalgo? It's a business equipment in China. Let's see. It looked like it ran up there on Friday. Let me see. EHGO. Oh yeah, 110 to 129. That's where I would watch this thing tomorrow. I mean, I can't promise you it's going to run, but it looks like it had good momentum going into that close. So I would keep an eye on it. You know, they like to run when they close up there like that. And again, weekend goes through, who the heck knows, but definitely one to keep an eye on in the morning, guys. And that is EHGO right there. And ERAS, errors. This is on the errors tour with Taylor Swift. And here it is. It's running up too. It's not looking bad. I'm not going to lie on this errors tour. ERES. What's it even called? Araska or something? Araska Inc. It's a biotech company. Tell you what, it looks pretty good off that 20 tomorrow. Keep an eye on errors. ERAS right there. It's not looking bad at all for tomorrow. And EVGN right here. Evogene. Oh, this one's looking really good too, guys. Keep an eye on Evogene. EVGN. I would say that's not looking bad at all. So yeah, it's in the 20, it's in the channel, and the 50's up there at 156. You're at 148. So there you go. And again, you might not have 100 percenters, but you got little easy poppers that just run up for you nice and easy. You can see where they're at in the channel. You can see when they're going to hit up at the resistance and come back down. And sometimes when the market's running like crazy weird, these guys are perfect. And honestly, they keep you on your trading skills. And then obviously we pick all the other big poppers too all the time. So we got plenty of opportunities all over the place, even when we have red markets. Is basically what I'm trying to get to. And ICU, let's see this bad boy. And this one's gonna run, guys. Remember, this was one of our first big runners from the show when I started. Good old ICU. And it's in that channel 176 to 184. It's at 183 to 50s right there at 186. And not looking bad. So you can keep an eye on ICU. And we'll see if it wants to get revived and run up there tomorrow. KZR. This one's going to be a good setup. I don't know if it's going to pop tomorrow, but just look for it. It could run up tomorrow, but I don't think it's definitely going to do it. I think it wants to get set up to be a better run up for KZR and NKTR. Nectar Therapeutics looks like it could be moving tomorrow. That one's rolling up that MACD in that channel real good. And yeah, I would keep an eye on NKTR. That one's not looking bad. NXPL. Nextplat, that one's looking pretty decent too. So here's a bunch. Laptop Travel handing out a whole bunch of them that are looking really good right here. I can tell you that. NXPL. Oh yeah, that one's that. I had to see the setup on it. I could tell it was looking decent. I just wanted to see that kind of setup. That one's looking really good right there. I would definitely keep an eye on NXPL. OGEN. Let's look at that one. OGEN. Oh, this one's getting to be in a good spot, guys. I would say definitely keep an eye on this one, too. Two good ones back to back right there. You want to keep an eye on NXPL, OGEN. Real good ones right there. Laptop Travel. I like them. And let's see what else is there. OLB. OLB group. This one's crawling up pretty nice as well. Here's another pretty good one right there, guys. Oh, yeah, that one's looking decent as well. A ton of good ones, I'm telling you. SWFL. Let's see what is that? SWFL. Hold on. What is going on? SWFL. I don't see anything. Did I write it in wrong? Let me know what I was supposed to write there. I probably wrote that one down wrong. And SLN, Silence Therapeutics. Let's see. Um, that one's crawling up. It's been running up. That's what I was trying to see. SLN. Yeah, that one's looking pretty good. So keep an eye on that one. And soft, SOFT. Is that what that was supposed to say? SO. I think so. I don't see anything for that. I think that's what I wrote down. Yeah, soft tech. Maybe there's like nothing there. I have no idea. Let me know what that one's supposed to be too, because I don't see anything for SOFT. SVRG, but I think that's a U because it's Surge. Yeah, I know that. Surge pays. And that one's not looking bad. It just crossed through. Let me see if it's going to stay through. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, that one's not looking bad, guys. SURG. 127 to 137. And it closed at 137, and it looks like it has pretty good momentum there. Keep an eye on that as well in the morning. And TCRT, let's see what this one's doing. And this one popped up really good on Friday. I mean, a lot of these, if it wasn't a Friday, I'd be like, wow, we got a shit ton of runners. You just don't know 100% coming off the weekend. But I'll tell you, I'll send out the list again, and I just have dots next to them telling you there's a ton of them that are really good to look at and could be moving tomorrow. Like I said, they might not be 100%ers, but they could be moving. TIRX hitting that resistance. I think that one might pull back a little bit. It did run up there on Friday. You grow. We've been watching this one, Urban Grow, and this thing's not looking too bad right there. UGRO. And yeah, that's in that channel just getting set up. and we've been watching that. And that GRO ran the other day, and that's that Brazil Potash one. It got out of the basement, pulled back a little bit, and that one's trying to get set up. GRO. And let's see, what was that next one? Was UNCY, and that was up at, oh, this one's not looking bad too in that channel right there. Keep an eye on this UNCY, guys. This one's not looking too bad. UNCY. Here we go. Yeah, if it stays up in that channel in that 20, between the 20 and the 50, 57 to 63, it'll be really good right there. UNCY and ZAP, ZAPP. Zap electric vehicles, and this one's crawling up. This one was looking good last week. I remember. Did it run up last week too? Yeah, it did. I remember Thursday ran up a couple times. This one's looking really good, guys. Keep an eye on that Zap, ZAPP, and that zone ran up. I remember it was in the zone, and it's still in the zone. It's just trying to get set up even better. So keep an eye on ZONE. It did run up Friday at 112 to 129. It closed at 124. We thought it was in the zone, and there you go. And it's running up, and watch it for some momentum right there. Because, like I said, it was in the zone, ZONE. And there you go. Oh, man. And let's go ahead and knock through our Jolie's jumpers, or no, yeah, Jolie's jams right here, and see what they're up to. And then we'll run through our SPY and our big caps and see what you guys want to see. And Boyle's up $11 in the overnight hours. There you go. I mean, we nailed that thing. That was crazy what we did to Boyle. And just called Boyle and Cold, I mean, perfectly before anything ever even happened. And they're complete 100% turnaround. So, I mean, over 100%, especially if it's up $11 in the overnight, in the over hours. Anyway, here we go. Agrify. Let's look at these guys. This one wasn't looking too bad the other day. Up 28 cents. Yeah, I'm telling you. We'll keep an eye on it. It's trying to get set up right here. So I'll keep an eye on Agrify in the morning, AGFY. We'll see what it wants to do right here. But it is trying to get set up. I don't know. It might pull back. And but I'll keep you posted. That Blink charging, that was actually on the laptop travel list. They have earnings coming up this week on Thursday, and it is trying to just get set up. I know it ran up last week right there. It's in that channel now, and we'll see what it can do. If it can stay in that channel, it'll be great. It could finally start moving. And Sezzle, SEZL, pull back, and I think that could have some more pullback in it. So, what it do on Friday? I know it did pull back. Let me just tell you where. Um, 226 down to 205, and it's at, oh, it closed at 235. I didn't even know. It must have popped up. So I knew it pulled back there. Oh yeah, it did jump up there. So it pulled back. Maybe we'll have to look at Sezzle and see if it's trying to bounce up off that support line down there. I just knew it had pulled back on Friday. I did not notice that it jumped up in towards the after hours. So there you go. And this Sterling Infrastructure down 272, pulling back a little bit. And we'll just have to watch this bad boy get set up. I know it ran up, hit that resistance at that 20 and came down. It looked like it wanted to get in there too, but just couldn't do it. And it came back down. So STRL and Rivian, what's that up to? I think Rivian might be trying to pull back. It's trying to make a base, but I think it might be pulling back a little bit more here. And we'll see. Maybe that 1066 is its low. I'll see if it wants to pull back anymore. It is trying to get set up, so we'll look at it and we'll reevaluate Rivian this week. We look at it anyway all the time, so we'll know. And Symbotic, SYM, this thing was trying to curl up, but again, I'm not so sure it'll get through the MACD this time. So we'll look at it tomorrow and take a peek and make sure it would want to. And there you go with your Symbotic. And here we go. Let me go ahead and see what you guys have up here. Boyle, I have to see this right now. BOIL. I might not see anything, but if it's up, it closed at like $100. So and it's up over $11. Luis Rodriguez is saying, yeah, I don't have obviously mine's not doesn't do the overnight, but I believe it was rolling up there and looking pretty good. So, and it did pull back to that 92 or 89 on Friday, which didn't really need to. And that cold, I can imagine, took a nice dip into the basement because it did look like it was kind of like one of them false curl throughs. And we know they go through, they come right back down. So it does look like it wanted to pull back some more. And yeah, I could believe it's up $11 there. So thank you very much, Luis Rodriguez. And what else are we looking at? TMDX and Pfizer's PFE. TMDX, Transmedic Group. And this is trying to get in a good spot. I don't think it's there yet. Yeah, I don't think it's ready just yet, but we can keep an eye on it and I'll look and see when it does get ready. And Pfizer PFE, this thing was rolling up. Remember, we were looking at this down here, and I remember I can tell by the thing, it was down at the 25 area. It's only at 26. It didn't run up crazy, but it definitely started to move up. And it's not looking too bad right here, Pfizer. So we might want to keep an eye on PFE and see what they're up to tomorrow. So thank you, Pete Stellar. There you go. And yeah, that TMDX may have to pull back a hair a little bit more. And let's see, buyout candidate Canon and CRG for TTO. There you go. All right. Yeah, that TTOO. It doesn't look bad. Like I said, it is an OTCer. It used to not be one, but they obviously got delisted. And but yeah, it used to be a good one to trade too. It was always popping around doing crazy things, and it doesn't look bad. And they're saying that it could possibly be a buyout. So look for that. RDDT, let's see what that's up to real quick. Hold on. RDDT is Reddit. Oh my goodness. I like got a tickle in my throat. All right, I'm good. Reddit here, RDDT, and that's just pulling back, guys. We might see more dippage on Reddit right here. So yeah, let's see if Reddit wants to get shorted down more tomorrow. Holy cow. It kind of does look like it does. It kind of does look like it does. It kind of does look like it wants to get down a little bit more, is what I should say there, Austin. So I will look at Reddit in the morning because, yeah, like I said, that could be a good one just to short down there. Um, let's see what else is going on. Logic Mark, we looked at that. It wasn't looking bad if I remember correctly. And let's look at it again, Mina. I forget what I said. I know it was curling up there. Yeah, it's trying to curl out of that basement. Logic Mark not looking bad. LGMK, I probably put a dot next to that, I'm sure. So I would keep an eye on that tomorrow. Not looking too bad right there. And what do we have going on here tomorrow, Luis Rodriguez? Please let us know. Let me pull it up. Nothing for Monday, so we don't have anything scheduled for Monday report wise. But then you have NFIB optimism on Tuesday and job openings. I don't know what the NFIB optimism is, but anyway, the job openings is at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. On Wednesdays, the CPI at 8:30, and then the CPI year over year, the core CPI, and that year over year, and the monthly U.S. federal budget at 2. And then Thursday is the initial jobless claims, the producer price index, the core PPI, and then that's all at 8:30 a.m. And then you have on Friday your consumer sentiment. So you have all kinds of craziness going on this week with the with the meetings and stuff coming out. I'll repost that so you guys can see that. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see what else is going on here. We looked at that. Let me see. ADTX, we checked out that already. And Barb was telling me that the sound was off. Thank you very down was low, and thank you very much for that. And let's see what else is going on down here. Oh yeah, Canada. I think Justin Trudeau he just stepped down, and that other dude is gonna be in there. I just posted that out. I forget what his name was. Mark something, I think possibly. Could be wrong. I don't even remember. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty wild, huh? for you Canadian people. So there you go right there. And let's see what else is going on here. Boom, boom, boom. I think we got all them messages. Let me see if I missed anything. And yeah, Boyle is at a 111 right there. So boom. Its high was 113. Holy cow, things moving. And LGMK is on the laptop lowdown watch list tomorrow. So yeah, like I said, that logic mark is looking good right there. So we got all them bad boys. Let's go ahead and see what our SPY and our big caps are looking like. Here we go. Excuse me. I'm telling you, I like feel like I have like a tickle in my throat. I never have that. Here we go. So yeah, Logic Mark, laptop travels liking for tomorrow. Like I said, not looking too bad. And let's cruise through our SPY and see what they look like. I know that they closed green obviously on Friday, and which was a good look, but again, I am not 100% convinced. It is touching that support line down there, and this is where I thought it would get down to. Remember that 567 area? We thought it was going to hit that 570, and I said watch it to see if it gets down into that 560 something area, and it did. It pulled back in there, 565. It got down in there. Now we have to see if it's bottomed out. It looked like it tried to bottom out there on Friday, and it could possibly start to try to move around. So we will definitely look at it. I'll let you guys know. I've been keeping you updated on it each day, and you can play it. Like I said, you can just play that around lunchtime for the most part. So I will keep you updated on that SPY. We'll let you know what it looks like. We'll go through it at 7 a.m., of course, on the pre-market show, and we'll know what it looks like at that point as well. But I will keep everyone posted. Let's go through the rest of these guys and see. They did close pretty green, but again, not 100% convinced. You know that. And each time I've said it, what's happened? They've gone down. So let's see what they look like. Apple was running up. I'm not convinced it wants to run, guys. I'm not going to lie. So we shall see tomorrow, but I think you see more dippage coming in that future. Amazon's trying to get set up. It was down. Maybe Friday was the bottom. Now, like I said, Amazon and I think Google could be the first ones to get moving, so we're keeping an eye on them, but I'm not convinced yet 100%, so I'll keep an eye on it and see. Google is trying to crawl up, and again, it could very well hit that MACD tomorrow and just come right down tomorrow, so obviously keeping an eye on Google, especially first thing in the morning, to see what it wants to do, but I think it's going to have to pull back there. Meta, it looked like it was trying to get stopped up because I had that major dip the day before, and I don't think it is. I honestly, I don't know. It came what 630 down to 600 on Friday, and then it came back up to 624. And again, has that crazy look. I think they could still pull back some more, to be honest with you. So we'll be looking at them in the morning, you know that. And obviously, Microsoft, let's see what that's doing. It was trying to move around and pull back, and it's hitting that MACD. And it's another one I just think is coming back down right now, guys. So I think Microsoft may see some more dippage in its future. And good old NVIDIA. Let's look at it. It was up $2, hitting that support line down there. And again, I'm not convinced. I think it comes down to that 106 area. It's at 112, and then it could come down even lower. So I'm not convinced these things are ready to rock and roll yet, and we'll definitely have to keep an eye on them. That's for sure. And I'll let you know in the morning. And Tesla's been getting knocked down. We knew it was coming down, and I still think it might come down some more. And it's already tried to crawl through 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the fifth time it's trying to crawl through. It's in the basement, and I still don't know if it's coming through, guys. So we will absolutely be looking at that Mag 7 and seeing what all of them want to do in the morning. AMC was up a little bit, trying to curl up, but I really don't think that's curling through the MACD right there. So we'll have to look at that in the morning. Good old GameStop, that was down a little bit, and I think this one has some time to get set up. I think you got some pullback there, and then you had Chewy, CHWY. that was pulling back. And remember on Friday we said it has some time to set up. I don't know if I said it was going to pull back, but you could tell it has some time to set up there, and it is pulling back, and it could come down like into the 30s. It's at 33 right there. You could see it at the 30s. So keep an eye on Chewy for some pullback. And how about Unity, the letter U? That was actually up a little bit, but I'm not convinced that's ready to run either. So I think they could be pulling back as well. And let's go ahead and look at what Netflix was doing. NFLX, that was pulled back, and this one could take a major dip down. And remember, this thing was just over $1,000, guys, and now it's at 884, and it does look like it could be pulling back some more. So good old Netflix looks like it might have some more dippage in it, and they all kind of do. And let's look at our semiconductors here. AVGO is trying to run up there Friday. Remember, they had earnings. We actually liked it off the earnings. I wasn't playing it. I don't like to play the earnings, but remember, I said watch it bounce off of it. It did. I'm not convinced it's ready to go up. It may be a good one to try to short right back down. And I think what it do, 202 to 204. It came down to 181 and it closed at 194. And again, I'm not convinced it's ready to run up there. So these might be good ones to look at coming back down. Or coming down some more, I should say. MU Micron Technology right here had some momentum coming up. They have their earnings coming up on the 20th, so you still got another week away. And again, I think it's going to try to hit up here at like 94 and come back down. I just don't think they're ready to get moving. And we know this pattern, we know what they do, and I just don't think that they're ready. TSM, that one was up $1.25, and I think that one's still going to be pulling back, and we still see some dippage coming. So just be patient, and we'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you know. SMCI was up a little bit, and I don't think that's ready as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's sitting on the 50, and I think it could have some more pullback in it. So we will look at that. And good old AMD was up $1.46. But again, I don't think that's ready either. And I think that one might have to pull back as well. So trying to crawl up, and I don't think it's going to get through. I honestly don't. And QCOM was up 518. Looks strong, but I don't think it gets through that MACD. We already know that. And that'll pull back. So it could get up to the 164 area and then dip back down. And good old Intel INTC was pulling back, kind of almost flat, but I think you see a little pullback there as well. And PayPal, this was pulling back. It was up 240. It was pulling back the other day, I should say. And it popped up there Friday. It's hit. I think that one's coming back down too. It's coming up to the MACD. They do. They run up when they start, like they all do it in sync. So you get that pop up day, and then tomorrow will probably be red right there, and they'll be pulling back some more, I could imagine. So watch for that to come down. And snow was coming down. It was obviously up a little bit. It closed up on Friday, but it did dip. I mean, 156 down to 148. And honestly, I still don't think that's ready to get rolling. So you could see it dipping back down. And that run up could be a perfect spot when they open up to get, they could be dipping down hard. So it could be a good short. We'll look at it, tomorrow morning. I'll keep you posted. And that is snow, and good old Dell is down $1.56, and this has been dipping down. Looks like it's coming down some more. And how about your PLTR? This one's sitting right there on the support lines. It was up 445, but I still think this one's going to come down and could be a great opportunity if it does. And all of them are going to be a great opportunity. Sophie looks like it's still coming down right there. And Mara, MARA, that was trying to get moving on Friday, but I don't know if it is on tomorrow. I think that one might be coming back down. It did cross through, but I think you're going to see it. It could get up to that 50 at like 17 area, but I don't even know if it gets up there. Not with Bitcoin and everybody getting slaughtered. So I have a feeling you could see them pulling back. Same with Riot. It was trying to get moving. It's not. It's going to be down there, right? And Clean Spark, CLSK, that was trying to move as well. And again, hitting the MACD. I'm not so sure it's getting through tomorrow, not the way these things look. So I think you have that pullback coming up. And obviously, good old micro strategy right here, MSTR. Good old strategy, not micro strategy, but it is going to be a micro strategy soon, the way crypto and Bitcoin look right now. And I think you're going to have some more pullback on it. It was trying to run up there. And yeah, I think you're going to get pulled back. It did cross through, but could easily pull itself back down. He needed, Sayer needed some good news at that summit, and we obviously didn't get anything good. And Coinbase is down, I think, COIN. And what's that one doing? Yeah, that one's curling up to the MACD. That's not going to come through, I don't think. So I think you see that come down. I'll look at Robinhood. That was down. And I think that one's going to continue to pull back. So Robinhood looks like it's going down some more. And DJT, this one was up a little bit. I don't think it's getting through to out of the basement or curling through. And I think the Trump media is coming back down. And how about Fun, PHUN? It tried to get running the other day on Friday. It was looking like it wanted to be fun. And another one, I just don't think it's getting through the MACD right now. And I think it's going to not be fun. So, not looking great, I can tell you that. Just from Friday's look and what they look like. So after they closed and just knowing what the market's doing. How about Mountain? Is this ever going to move MTN? It was up a little bit. I don't think so. I mean, this one, they have their, you know what? It's probably waiting for its earnings March 10th, and then it'll get moving. So we'll look out for it. When's that? Oh, that's tomorrow, isn't today's the 9th? Duh. All right. So we got to look at Mountain. They have earnings tomorrow. We'll see what that one's up to tomorrow, MTN. And who said McDonald's was going to pop? Remember, I was like, yo, what's up with this thing? And it actually crossed through and went nuts. I think it might pull back, but it did pop up. I have no idea what they did on Friday. Um, what did they do? I have no idea what happened. I didn't see anything, but it was just in that spot where it was looking pretty good right there. And it's like popping up to its like all time high, probably. It looks like it's getting up there anyway. It's at 321. Remember, this thing was down at like 280 or something. We were looking at it. Yeah, 280. And now it's at 321. So there you go for McDonald's and Boeing. This thing's pulling back, and I think that might come into the basement, guys. Remember, I said that was dipping down. It's dipping down. Space has been dipping down. It was up a little bit. They had earnings. I don't think it's getting anywhere right now. Um, yeah, it does. It's trying to crawl out of the basement. It's staying in there. And let's look at IBM up 12 dot. Whoa. That one popped up pretty nice. I forgot that one did that on Friday. I did see that, but I forgot all about it. And that one might be a good one to look at to short back down because I don't think that's curling back through either, IBM. So there you go for that. And let's look at Disney real quick. Walt Disney is pulling back and looks like it could be pulling back there. Good old Disney. Yeah, it looks like it wants to bottom, but I'm not so sure. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. How about Oxy right here? That was up $1.53. We'll see if these want to curl up. I'm not so sure they do. OXY. We've been looking at it. It did curl through, coming down, trying to curl back up. I'm not so sure it wants to. ExxonMobil. Actually, not looking bad. I will look at ExxonMobil and Oxy tomorrow. How about Nike? That one's actually been doing pretty well right there. Nike's been doing pretty good, and it doesn't look too bad right there. So, we'll look at it tomorrow. Like I said, it's not looking real bad for Nike. NKE, DXYZ, that one's pulling back and coming back down as well. And there you go. And ANNX, what's that one? Let me look at it. Marty ANNX. Oh, ANNZ I put in. ANNX. Annexon. That one's actually trying to crawl up. It's hitting that 20. Let me take a better look at it. ANNX. I'd have to look at it tomorrow morning. It's trying to, but I'd have to see it after the weekend, to be honest with you. And I think we got everything else now that like my voice is like There we go. I'm telling you, I have like a tickle in my throat. I'll get it cleared out after. Sorry for keep coughing. I don't like to do that. But my throat is just like all goofy, and it didn't even never even happened until like I was like just rolling through the show, and all of a sudden I started. So anyway, my apologies for that. Let me see what's going on right here. Stocks fall, yen gains on Trump trade war, China deflationary woes, and U.S. stock futures fall following S&P's worst week since September. Asian equities poised for weak open. Futures drop. Stock futures fall on Sunday evening after the S&P 500's worst week since September. So they are down the futures, and investors are anxious about Trump's tariffs. And here's what financial advisors are telling them what to do. I can only imagine what they're telling them what to do. Must be some great info right there. And let's just see if there's anything on the scanner. BTOG ran up. That's at Bit Origin. And that's that one we were looking at before. And take a look at it, see if it wants to run up again in the morning. Icon Ford. Look at Ford running back up. Remember, we were talking about that one. That's running up there. Walgreens and MSTU looks like it's coming back down. Lucid's getting set up, guys. We'll look at it. It's not ready yet, but it's trying to. And that BBAI took a big dip right there. RGTI not ready. It was actually RGTI. Let me look at it real quick. Yeah, I don't think these things are ready. I think it just jumped up. I mean, it does look like it's trying to set up. We have to look at RGTI in the morning and see what that's up to. American Airlines way down there. That's way down. Plug GV. How about that DNN? We'll keep an eye on that one. We've been watching it. That's that uranium one. And FAMI we saw. Yeah, we saw basically everything right there. Let me just see. Warner Brothers looks like it's pulling back. Let me see if I see anything else over here. Do do do. Bam bam bam. I don't see anything. What's a KAPR? Let me see what that's up to. That one's trying. I'll take a look at it. I wouldn't say it's ready just yet. And anything else, nothing's really catching my eye right off the bat here. Everything's just kind of dipping down, if anything. Let me see what's going on the stock twits world real fast. We'll see what's trying. I bet it's a bunch of coins and crypto going down. QI, Bitcoin, cold down. Apple's up in the over hours. It looks like. It looks like it. Let me look. I don't know. It's at 2:30. I think it might have just. I'm not sure. What's Apple doing there? Laptop Travel or Luis Rodriguez? I'm not sure. It's on here, and the spy's on here, but it does say down $1.07. So I'm going to assume that's down $1.07. And Apple says it's down 42 cents. I'm going to assume it's down 42 in the overnight there. Ethereum's down UVIX. What's that? UVIX. Oh, that's the VIX futures right here. And let's see. We'll have to keep an eye on that bad boy. It was pulling back, but that could be jumping up. Matic's down. Doge is down. Tesla's down. What's Tesla say? Uh, Let me see. Down like 28 cents or something. So yeah, I'm not sure what they're really doing in the after hours, but I would imagine they're down. It did say that the futures were down. So what time do we kick off the morning call, Marty? 7 a.m. We're on at 7 a.m. every morning. 7 a.m. pre-market and then 9 p.m. for our night show, obviously. And there you go. ADTX we looked at wasn't looking too bad. And I think we got everything, I would say. And we definitely rolled through a bunch of them. I'll take a picture. Actually, let me put this on top of the stock cube or I will forget. I did remember the other day to take a picture of it. So there you go. I'll put it right there. I'll take a picture of my notes and send it out And like I said, I just put dots next to the ones, and a lot of these small caps could be setting up as these big caps pull back. We already know that happens all the time, and we just kind of pivot around and we pick out what wants to pop up and run, and we do it all the time. So we find the bottoms and we run them up. So, I mean, look at what we did with Elf, Lockheed Martin, UPS, all them bad boys, all the penny ones. So, you guys know what to look at, and thank you. Apple is up a little bit, so it is up by a 238 right there. So yeah, it said it was green on the thing. On StockTwits is usually pretty accurate with that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. And it did say that the SPY was up and Apple. So we'll look at it. And honestly, we've seen them up a lot. All last week they were green in the pre-markets every morning at 7 a.m. And we knew they were going red. I just knew they were. I mean, I told you that we knew. I said we weren't confident they were going up. I'd say it in the morning, and when we know that look, they're coming back down. So we'll look at them at 7 a.m. We'll know what's going on, but they do look like they're going to be falling back down some more. So we'll see what's up, but we will catch the poppers and whatever wants to run. You guys know that. We'll look at crypto. Maybe that can stop falling down, but them charts don't look great either. I'm not going to lie. So I'll keep you posted about that. And like I said, ETF 500 is the one that like holds itself up pretty well. I'm not going to lie, considering what they're doing and crashing down pretty hard. That one's still staying up pretty well. So, um, definitely makes you feel better about it, especially as they start to reverse. You know, when they start running, they're going to get wild. They'll swing big time. The money will pour into it and it'll get wild. So we already know that's going to happen. And people will forget that they were even down here in March. So I don't stress it. I just buy the opportunities and pop them up. So that's what we're going to be doing. And tomorrow morning, we'll see what opportunities come across our plate, and we'll take them and run with them. So there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty good market review on a Sunday evening, even though the market was a disaster last week. Could be down a little bit this week. We will still catch what's popping and what's hopping there. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. And again, I'll do the 7 a.m. show. I believe that show's at 1 p.m. I have to look. I tweeted it out earlier for the small caps. And then obviously we do our 9 p.m. show every night and anything else in between. So there you go, everybody. Let me know if you want to see anything in the morning. We'll go through it and we'll go through the market and see what looks good. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Laptop Travel for all your help and your laptop lowdowns, and Luis Rodriguez for everything. Profit Logics, Jay Kratz, and Bobby Austin, Bongpri Chan, Marty right there, and Marty, aka Martini, and Sanu. So there you go. And I think I said before I was a chef, one of my first chef jobs. I worked with a dude, Marty Martini, we called him. He was the coolest dude ever. He was like a hippie guy, and he was awesome. And the dude made like the most incredible soups I ever ate in my life. And I'll never forget. He used to make this dark beer cheddar soup. It was to die for. It was banging. And the dude was just a really cool guy. And so, yeah, just memories from back in the day. But anyway, there you go, everybody. And like I said, have a good night. I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. And there you go. And hopefully the market will provide us with some poppers. It always does. So I don't even stress it. So there you go. Have a good night, guys. And I will see you guys in the morning.